Welcome back, my name is RandomVictory, and today, so I did a podcast with Frame Perfect, and it was the story that never happened for Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon X Gale of Darkness. If you're wondering, I'm on my phone, so I'm looking at the article, so yeah, I don't like doing scripts and doing all that kind of stuff, so it's pretty stupid. Well, it's boring to me. I don't like writing stuff. But it was by someone posted by Polka Hacker Mason on the 8th of 2016. So this is the original. He'll tell you a summary. So Pokemon Colosseum was released in the United States. If you had a GameCube, then you at least played or heard of this game. Pokemon Colosseum is set in the Or region, or is mostly a desert-like region in which no wild Pokemon can be found, or consists of many cities, towns, and Colosseums. Hence the name. The plot of the story is different than any main series Pokemon game. That's actually why I liked it, and that was actually my first Pokemon game actually ever playing, and it was back in the 5th grade. So the story starts off by using a device called the Snag Machine, which allows you to capture other Pokemon, and you escape with a Snag Machine and kicks off the game. You'll later save a young girl that has a unique ability to see shadow Pokemon, and eventually you don't need that because eventually you get the scanner next to you, Gale of Darkness. Pokemon whose hearts were sealed, surrounded by purple aura. From this point on, the player partner will journey all across the Oran region, battling trainers, snagging shadow Pokemon, and uncovering the disastrous plan of a secret organization, Cypher. This shady group and its ambitious admins are creators of shadow Pokemon, closing their hearts to strengthen their stats. The player eventually learns how to reverse the effects of the process, and must capture all Cypher shadow Pokemon, and to the I don't know what that word says. I don't know if he messed up. I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm gonna skip it. The evil mastermind I think it's the character's name because of the statement right after. I don't know how you pronounce the name of the main boss, so I'm gonna skip it, even though I don't know if that's actually the name. Evil mastermind behind it all. After defeating Mirror B and Pirate Cave and Dakim in Mount Battle, Venus in the Under, and Ian in the Shadow Pokemon Lab, the player goes to Realgam Tower. After defeating the admins again, Gunzap comes out and reveals the Cypher gave Team Snagim, it's Snag with E-M at the end, I'm not sure, Snag Machines, and gave the Pokemon to Cypher to create the shadow Pokemon, meaning that this was all one master's plan hatched by Cypher. After defeating Snagim, Nursequirrel, sorry for the pronunciation of these names, I really don't know. The boss of Cypher is defeated by the player. Afterwards, it is revealed that Phoenix City Mayor is Kade. sorry, is eventually Avis, the true boss of Cypher. After he is defeated, he tries to escape. However, unfortunately, a hose uses sacred fire to stop him, saving the day. And then on August 4th, 2005, XD Gale of Darkness was released. I guess this is where the change of the game. I guess it didn't, because you'll know after I read the rest of the article that I'm not sure if it's real or not. It seems like it could have been faked, but it seems very interesting. I would have actually seen this game, and I would have actually played it. Or they could even gone even deeper, weighted that into the third installment instead. So we actually have a main hero, and so yeah, Colosseum went through. I'll continue this rant later, but so XD takes place 5 years after the events of Colosseum. Team Cypher has returned bigger than ever. They created the Shadow Pokemon that is immune to purification, codename XD001. So Lugia. And one of the reasons why Lugia is up there with my with my top 30 Pokemon, that is Victini, Totodile, and Lugia. I think Totodile would be number 1 just because that, and then the 2 Lugias up there. You can see. I'm pointing it wrong right there. Okay, the game opens with a shot of the SS Libra cruising through the sea, and when suddenly some helicopters appear overhead and Shadow Lugia, which picks up the ship. The sailors fall out and watch in awe that it flies away, carrying the ship with it. The player must use the snag machine once again to travel around the Ore region to defeat the members of Team Cypher, capture all the Shadow Pokemon, and defeat the boss one last time. But what if I told you that this was not the original story for Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness? If everyone knows that not everyone from the original game is there. I know that the main, they're not in the game. The main people. I never played Colosseum, so I can't prove this. I know that some of the cities are removed from the main game. They'll give like little hints like, oh, there used to be a city down there. If you watch the podcast, Frame Perfect goes into more depth into it. He actually played through it. I only played through XD Gale of Darkness. I never played Colosseum. Never got to. I might, if I get the game, and I might record it, but it will be like 40p. So I don't know if you guys want to see such a low resolution on a game when everyone wants those graphics, you know. I don't really care. I really enjoy the game. But let's continue. Greevil wasn't going to be the head boss of Cypher. Greevil is the old man that looks like a Buddhist ears and stuff. If you've seen most descriptions of Buddhists, usually have like huge, whatever these, I forgot the name. Well, the bottom part of your ear, the soft part, the soft tissue, it's larger than normal, so that's why I call him the mini Buddhist in the game. It was going to be that you would find out that Wes was the main character from Pokemon Colosseum. Wasn't a good guy. Wes didn't. It's not West with a T. It's without the T. Wes didn't have pure intentions when taking down Ibis in the Colosseum. Instead, it was that he knew he was skilled. He knew he was a skilled Pokemon trainer and saw the opportunity to steal the snag machine from Teens Snag'em. That, I think that's how you pronounce it. I finally figured it out. He used that to get what he wanted, pretending to be a good guy and using everyone in the region to get a battle with Ibis, whatever, sounds Russian. After Cypher lost its boss, he would have become the new boss and doing better job than Ibis. It would be Wes who would have gotten mad with the power, and you would have to stop him and put in place in XD. The only reason that this storyline never happened is because the developers thought that this was too dark and edgy for kids. What do you think? the storyline for XD? Do you wish the developers went with the original story? Leave a comment down below. This had to be an original storyline. So that's one of the comments. This had to be the original? No. If you play the game, you know exactly it's not. They don't mention any of that. Okay, so thoughts. I thought it would have been we talk about it more in the podcast. That's being uploaded to SoundCloud actually while I'm actually speaking right now. It should be uploading by the end of today. That is Sunday, the let me check the date, the 11th. It should be done by today, so you should be able to watch that, or listen to it, should I say. It won't be on YouTube until later, until I finish all the editing and all the visuals and all that. So what I think. So, this rough cut. This is continuation from after reading the article. So, my ideas for third installment. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it in the video, but maybe after you defeat Greevil, the lab, everything is ransacked. The most important professors are taken from there. So practically everyone is a professor, so they're taken. Your sister, your mother, everyone there is taken from the lab. Purification machine is completely destroyed. The temple is destroyed as well. There is no way to purify the last remaining Pokemon. That will be Lugia. At this point, Lugia will be the last Pokemon to purify, but because you find out the true boss at the end was not Greevil, it was Wes. And in the manner where the purification machine is, Wes shows up. He tells you, you thought you were done. You thought you succeeded, but you didn't. Shadow Pokemon will continue to be produced, and I will conquer this region. And you have no power to stop me. And if you try anything, then try it. But I can't guarantee the safety of your family. And then it cuts off. So yes, it would be darker than the actual games, actually harming someone close to you. So maybe you can still do the other secret bonus endings and stuff, like collecting the rest and doing all that. But after you do all that, so yes, maybe after you defeat Greevil, you could still continue the game. Maybe if you haven't completely purified the other Pokemon. But after you purify, maybe the game is locked where until you purify all the other Pokemon, you cannot purify Lugia. All right. So that's how you get that ending. Right after you purify that last Pokemon, you get maybe a distressed email from Professor Crane. Alright, you go back and everything is like that. So that little explanation happens. Sorry for the mic. Happens completely. So third game, a few years later, I think this is how I'm gonna put an image right here of how I Michael should look like in this third game. Maybe a little bit different, but this is the closest actual good image I was able to find of an older version of Michael. So yes, and then after maybe one of the previous children that was in the game that showed up in XD becomes your prodigy, becomes you train him, you teach him. In the same way you started with an Eevee, he will give you an Eevee as well. It'll be higher, it would be, I don't know, level 11. Level 11, level 10 Pokemon. Same stats from the original Eevee from XD Gale of Darkness. It would just be a different one. So everyone there that was part of the XD Gale of Darkness team, and maybe a few extra areas from Colosseum, will be in this game. So the ones that you're gonna battle are always gonna be grunts or someone that supports the Team Cypher motivation of creating shadow Pokemon. Alright? So there is no like, well, we're in the same team, you want information, you want this item, you're both good people, you don't support Team Cypher, so there is no point on fighting. So you're never gonna fight your own teammates. So and Professor Crane is being forced to create ultimate moves for these Pokemon, specific moves for those Pokemon, only to defeat or completely eradicate the resistance. That is Michael's. Alright? But in these TMs, these moves, there's encrypted files in there that are plans on creating a purification machine. Alright? So each time you defeat them or collect a shadow Pokemon, there is a chance that you might get a piece for the purification machine. So the main objective is to always capture shadow Pokemon. There is no... I haven't decided at the end of the game you're allowed. It would be pretty bad if you're unallowed to go and back and defeat or capture those shadow Pokemon to complete the purification machine, because that would suck. But let's say yes, if you do knock them out, maybe at the end of the game you're able to, right before the end of the game, you're able to go back and capture all of them. Maybe they have different trainers, or maybe these the trainers you fought before were just supporters and now they're grunts, so they went up a level. So they show up again even stronger, maybe even evolved. Actually, maybe forcefully evolved into a new type shadow Pokemon, the new types. So main mission is gathering those TMs and completely destroying bases. That these bases won't be like the normal headquarters. They're gonna be mostly where they capture Pokemon and they forcefully make shadow Pokemon. Alright? So your goal is to go in there, completely destroy them by releasing all those Pokemon and capturing all the shadow Pokemon that are in there, destroying the production of it and taking everyone out, and you click. And each time you do that, maybe like in XD Gale of Darkness, you would have the little icon show up. Maybe that icon will be like enveloped in shadows, and once you complete that area, it completely goes away. And you have a few new areas. Maybe this time you have a volcano. The volcano that was the island. Maybe that isn't the headquarters. Maybe that's something else. Like in, I forgot which game it was. You think that's the main headquarters, but there's a main one. So you defeat the boss there. Right after maybe when you defeat Greevil, you defeat Wes. There's more to the middle of the game. It's just, if I really do go through everything, my brain will be completely melted because I'm pulling this out of my head. I would say something else, but I won't. I'm just pulling stuff out of my head just while they pop up. So I don't really do scripts, so that's one bad thing. So that happens. You defeat him, but you don't capture him. He escapes. He goes to the main headquarters, where all the stronger shadow Pokemon like Terraria. Did I just say Terraria? No, Tyranitar, Aggron, maybe some of the maybe the right hand man of Wes actually has shadow legendary Pokemon, and Wes actually has a shadow version of Ho-Oh in his team, and maybe a few other legendaries. Maybe the way they're actually producing high level shadow Pokemon is because they forced Celebi, a Pokemon purification, into a shadow Pokemon. So kind of like Pokemon Forever, how Celebi became evil, trees came to life and stuff. So maybe that's a way that stronger level Pokemon, Tyranitar, Aggron, I don't know if Magmortar's in there, stronger levels are in the game. So those are going to be the stronger shadow new type Pokemon that you fight. Right before you reach the right hand and left hand, you're let me backtrack because I'm confusing myself a lot. So in main base, that is the fake base, yes, you go in there, you defeat that base, and you also save Professor Crane, you save your mother, Jovi, all of them. You're able to release them, alright? Boom. Then the base, everyone escapes their run. You have a limited amount of time to run out, and then boom, everything blows up. Boom, fireworks display. And then at the end of the game, in the main, the real headquarters, I have no idea what's going to be in the map, so whoops. You go in there, you fight them, you take them out, you capture them, but right before you go and fight with West, you have someone else coming in and helping you. Michael comes in and helps you with a newly purified Lugia. They were able to complete the machine. All they needed was the last. They completed the machine, but all you had to do was completely. I can't speak correctly. So yes, they completed the machine, but with Mr. Professor Crane, they were able to finish the software, finish the program to start up the purification machine. So they were able to purify Lugia, right? So Lugia, maybe he's a level 60, 65, and his Ho-Oh is like level 70, 75, around there. So high level legendaries already. Purified Lugia, you have your team of the stronger level. You'll have, if you do capture them, you'll have a Ultra Ball with a few Ultra Balls with a Aggron, Tyranitar, and I don't know, a few others. And you'll have your Eevee that, I don't know, most people choose Umbreon, so you'll have a high level Umbreon, maybe a level 56, around there, and a few other ones. Choose your strongest team, and you'll have the help of this, how you can tell that I didn't write anything, because I'm falling asleep. Not because of that, because I'm using too much brain power. Alright. So yes, you have Michael on your side, and Wes on his side has the girl that was able to see shadow Pokemon. Somehow he was able to convince that girl that shadow Pokemon were the way of the world. Long story short, the girl in Colosseum, the one who's able to see purification with the special power, is his partner in the game. So you have a tag team. Boom, boom. One Pokemon each. His final, maybe his second final Pokemon he releases. I forgot what Pokemon West has or starts with in Colosseum. I don't know. So let's have that Pokemon be the main reveal before Ho-Oh. So this is what happens. He only has a team of 5. Alright? No 6 Pokemon, and that's kind of weird. The girl has 6 Pokemon. Everyone else has 6 Pokemon. Except for him. You defeat him. Let's say for some reason your Tyranitar uses Earthquake, takes out her and his main Pokemon from Colosseum that became a shadow Pokemon. Alright? Boom. Take him out. Cutscene. You think it's over. It's done. And that's when he does that whole, you think this is over? Not for a long shot. Allow me to show you the ultimate shadow Pokemon. Boom. Ho-Oh comes in. So now you have no. It would be pretty bad because they do this in ROMs sometimes. Take out a main enemy and boom, they do that cutscene and all their Pokemon somehow had full heal, full restore. They restored them back. The PP is back up all the way up, and you have like, I don't know, maybe 3 Pokemon, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 4 Pokemon knocked out, and you only have 2 left. One's half dead and the other one is fully healed. It would suck. So I think evenly having just one Pokemon, so the girl's out and Michael, he's helped you and he says, I did my part. Now it's your time to finish this. Create your own story. He leaves the battle and maybe he's in the background of the game. He's behind you like a tutor, your mentor, your master behind you, and she's just like in the far corner, maybe like my boss will never lose, you know. So you're in a final battle, 2 Pokemon and 1 Ho-Oh. Not that he has 2 Pokemon. You have 2. That he has 3 in total. You'll have 2 Pokemon. He has 1. You choose that the final Pokemon to battle with will be the Eevee you trained and evolved into Umbreon. And maybe right before him, maybe he reaches. Maybe you teach him a new move. A new move of head. He levels up a few levels right before that battle. So maybe now he's around level 70. Alright, so he's 5 levels under the Ho-Oh you're fighting. The West Ho-Oh. Alright? I'm confused. So yeah, so I mean you can it's maybe right before you enter the game it tells you recommends to save just in case you actually lose. You recommend and you go back to the point right before you enter the main layer and you fight West. So even if you lose, you're right there. You don't have to go back to a certain point and restart. So close circle to finishing the game. You finish the game. Team Cypher this time is completely taken down. There's nothing left. The snag machine is completely destroyed. All files on it are eliminated, terminated, and all physical files are burnt. All research on shadow Pokemon, everything like that is completely destroyed. Eugene, the man who was guarding the entire time, he was actually in the forest trying. So he was still in the area where you find him, but he was creating a new temple. Maybe this time it's not out of stone, maybe it's a jewel, like a floating emerald or something, kind of like the Chaos Emerald, Master Emerald, how it's floating in the temple. Maybe this time it's a green emerald, like not perfectly cut, it's like harshly cut, but looks like you were just taken out of a stone. Just picked that. It looks like a stone you just picked up and just placed it there. And the stone purifies Celebi, and now you're able to purify the other Pokemon you recently got, and you use the final with the complete purification machine. You go in there and you purify Ho-Oh, because you capture Ho-Oh at the end. Or maybe you defeated him and then you just take Ho-Oh, you just snatch it with the snag on, you know? So all that happens, they completely destroy it, and maybe Wes right before he's taken away by the international police, that is Looker's team. Maybe a little hint to Looker and connection to the main series games. Maybe that would be pretty cool. The first appearance of Looker. He showed up in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire's ending Delta episode, so maybe you have a earlier. Maybe that's the way how he ended up in the ocean, because Or's region is near there. Maybe he fell off the ship and he floated into the island, maybe. So Wes says, "This is not over. I will return even stronger. Shadow Pokemon will rule the world," and maybe they could create a fourth game somehow in another region. They were never stopped. The main character failed, and Shadow Pokemon, I don't know, they're starting to conquer the world or something. There could be a possibility of a fourth game, but ends there. He's taken on the cruise. He's taken back to the region. It's not specified. He just says, we'll be taking you back to the International Police Headquarters. You'll like it there. It's cold and rusty, or cold and wet, maybe something like that, just to make it sound horrifying. That they don't like keeping prisoners safe, you know. So that happens. Looker ends the game. Everything's destroyed, and maybe like in XD Gale of Darkness, how he left the snag machine, and even though that cutscene wouldn't exist in this installment of XD, how the ending happened, maybe he just leaves everything that was part of Shadow Pokemon. He just leaves it there and he walks away. Michael, he goes back to his family. He follows the path of his father, becoming a professor, and now there's trainers, more Pokemon are more flourished, more into the region, and more that kind of stuff. Like in the end of XD or Colosseum, more Pokemon are coming back to the region. Alright? Why did I make this video? I'm so confused. So, yeah, that's all I had to say. I don't know. If you enjoyed the video, hope you did. Even though I really don't remember half the stuff I just said. I thought it would be interesting third game going like that, even though I had more things to say. I just don't feel like making a very long YouTube video about it. Maybe a podcast. Maybe maybe next time I do a podcast, I might actually write it. I'll have someone with me, actually saying, well, maybe we could change this, tweak that, that kind of stuff. Anyone who's fan of XD Gift of Darkness or Colosseum, please tell me down below. Tell me what your favorite moment of the game, favorite thing to do. The concept was taking other people's Pokemon. You were surprised, and because because right after I started with XD Gift of Darkness, I went to emulator and I was playing Emerald, and I was like, wait, we can't steal other people's Pokemon? So that was pretty funny when I first thought that, and I asked my friends, and they're saying, no, that does not happen, that's bad. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, even though I didn't really think through it correctly. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and until next time.